Moving on, curriculum and instruction, our 2014-15 school calendar. I think Ms. Davis, yes, Pat, if you would, please.
We followed the same process that we normally have. We had a representative from each school, and representative school board was Mr. K. But thank you, Mr. K. I think it's like your 6th year. Appreciate that. And Dr. Baldwin, and then Angie to make sure it worked for payroll. So we presented 2 calendars. It was mentioned prior to calendar time that perhaps some people would like a fall break instead of the week off at Thanksgiving. So there were 2 calendars. The second calendar, which you're not seeing here, there were days off in October unless at Thanksgiving. And then this calendar was presented to committee, which had a whole week off at Thanksgiving. So they took it back to the schools, and the consensus was that the schools liked version 1, which was a whole week at Thanksgiving. And then there wasn't much to tweak because the days are so limited, but we did change one thing after the committee looked at it. We changed a work day from the 27th, from the work day went from in October from the 27th to the 29th. And the reason we changed that was because the superintendents across the region had asked that the counties have one day that they could perhaps do something together next year. And the consensus was with the western counties that the 29th was the day that they would like to do. So that meant we just moved it, the work day, from the 27th to the 29th. And that's the only change that was made after the committee had taken it to the schools, and the consensus was this calendar. So with that one change, we've brought it to you to approve or disapprove.
Is there any chance we're pretty much over for the snow and they're not moving the week ahead?
There's very little chance of that.
It's better than it has been because they got snow down east this time.
Yeah, my understanding is that there's a great deal of support in the legislature to give local flexibility to the calendar changes, but that there is.
When would that come about?
Well, there's a small minority of the General Assembly that has all power, so it's not looking like that's going to happen.
This calendar is based on days or hours? Based on hours?
Beg your pardon?
It is based on hours.
The calendar is based on hours.
It is.
1080?
The general statute or the law says 180 days or 1,025 instructional hours. We've scheduled 180 days, which is 1,080 hours. So we have some flexibility in there. Now, this year,
Life's calendar.
correct. This year, we're going to be over the minimum by about 15 hours.
Thank you.
And
Been a day and a half.
yeah, pending tomorrow, it could be.
We may lose an hour or two in the morning.
You're about a day and a half ahead right now.
Yes.
Close to 2 days.
Yes. So we've scheduled some flexibility in there for next year as well.
So it is 180 days.
Now, and if you look at next year's calendar, we're going to have very little flexibility in the spring semester. We've only got 2 work days, I believe, in the spring semester. Is that right? That we might be able to use. So, in the event of snow and the need to make up days, it will be on those 2 make-up days as long as we can stay above 1,025 hours.
But you can use those above hours to take care
We
of
can.
snow days, okay?
And there's still no way to get testing in prior to Christmas.
Not
What's the current calendar, that they- how they make us do it.
So if we approve this calendar and they do change it to local flexibility, can we change it?
That would be up to the board. If they return local flexibility, I would be happy to bring you another calendar.
Well, I would like,
When is our,
I would like to ask
when
the
is our
board.
kind of our drop dead date? Dr.
think
Baldwin,
you're-
is there such a thing as drop dead date by which we would?
We would have a month or two, I would think at least.
I would think at least.
And I would ask the
Hopefully
board
get
to try to leave that open in case
yeah.
that happens.
Well,
because-
would it be possible to go ahead and approve this calendar, and if they do change something in the short session, which is when they would do it?
Usually, July, we get that, so we still have time, as late as we start in August, to actually, we would have to start the beginning of August to get the semester in. So we'd have time to do a
We
new
don't have to start
calendar.
at the beginning of
for
August to get the semester in.
We would have to move it back at
Yeah,
least a
1
week.
Yeah, at least a week, but that's a big.
And
Well,
if-
a week will make your semesters unbalanced, because I moved this one back a week, and we don't, it's like, it comes
Well,
out to 85.
so if they're
and
unbalanced,
95.
that could be worse things happen. I mean, yeah.
We, I believe
To get the testing done.
Nancy's not here, is she? She looked at it, I think that with moving it back 1 week, it would be possible to get testing in before Christmas. It's,
Be
it's
85
one-
and 95.
1 week is not,
Take 2 weeks, but,
yeah.
But guess what? Guess when we're gonna lose our snow days?
Always the
Second
second
semester.
semester.
Yeah, it-
Always.
So it all evens out to some degree, I think.
We lost, how many hours that we didn't make up this time? So that's instructional hours that we've lost in the spring semester. We made up 50, so
See, 8:48,
you're right.
somewhere around.
The
somewhere around
spring
50
semester
hours.
is shorter
I just would like to
Due to-
leave it open
due to
if anyway, if the
yeah,
board,
due to inclement weather.
And I'm just skimming over the statute, and I don't see, and I don't recall any absolute drop dead date. There is just more practical limit on how close to the start of a school year are you willing or able to make a sudden change that everybody's got to adapt to all of a sudden. So it's more just impractical when you get too close, but you could hold it open for now.
Would there be an issue if we went ahead and approved this calendar, and if they changed something in
No,
the
you
short
can
session
change
in May, we come back and change it? Would you be
see, I don't have
open
a
to
problem with that. I just like to leave it, if the board would go along with that, I would like to leave it open to where we could change it. And if there's become a big opportunity for us to get testing in prior to Christmas. And then I do have one question. Like in October, you have 2 days off in the middle of the week. Can we not put that on a Monday or a
I
Friday?
think it's
or-
what Pat was just describing. I think the superintendents have set aside that 1 day to accommodate that on the 29th, from the 27th to the 29th.
That's not a
October
off day, that's
29th?
the end of the grading period. That day's not off. We only have one work day
28th.
there.
So
One's
29th.
blue and one's green.
So the blue is the last day, and then the green is the work day, correct?
Is that the way you code that?
Right.
Yeah. The blue is the
Are you
end of the
talking
9
about
weeks.
October?
The green is the
That's the
work
one I
day.
moved to have us the staff development day to work with.
Okay, so you're saying the blue and the green, you're not off both those days?
The 28th is the end of your 9 weeks, and the 29th is the
So
work
you're there
day.
that day.
And we moved it to the 29th so that we could work with the western regions, all the counties in the western region.
28th. Yeah, we're just going to 27th, 28th, and then
But it's one
they'll
more
be off
day.
on the 29th.
It just makes a whole lot more sense to have a day off, and it's very difficult. I mean, it's easier for people to have a day off on a Monday or Friday because they leave their kids with their grandparents, and when you have it off during the middle of the week, it's just a difficult thing.
If that's, I don't have a problem with changing that. The other schools in this region, school systems have asked for a common professional development day.
Okay, having said that, is it something that you're gonna take part in?
Well, we're planning on it. We've not seen any other plans. It's just in the preliminary stages. But if there's something offered, we will take part in it.
As far as approval of the calendar tonight, I think Dr. Baldwin's point is, it would be nice to think if we held this open and didn't have you go on and approve it, that would be worthwhile because they would change the calendar law, but I would not hold my breath for that to happen. We've been waiting for that to happen for years, and it might have made a difference that now it's Mecklenburg County residents and not Macon County residents that have the problem with it, but I think the best course probably is approve this tonight, and you do have the ability to visit it if that becomes a possibility.
And You know, we had a discussion at the superintendent's meeting on Friday just about that, and I did not get a whole lot of hope from other superintendents based on the fact of that minority representation in the General Assembly for maintaining this calendar.
But I think the public expects us to nail something down so they can make plans. I would feel comfortable going 14, 15 if it comes back to us, or 15, 16 if it comes back to us. But to change this in the middle of the summer, when this information goes out to the media, the public will be in limbo, and there will be questions asked. How do I get vacation time for this, that? So I'd be careful about that we're in limbo, because that puts the community in limbo on what working, kids are working, vacations, those type of things. Teachers, whether they're going to school, vacation, what it may be. It just puts things in a limbo situation at this early stage. And I think it's just uncomfortable.
And I would think that they will, if they're going to change it, they'll change it in the short session, which would be, we would know by the middle of May.
Starts on
But it
May
probably
14th.
wouldn't be this year anyway, it might be.
It might not be effective this year.
That's right. So what
It
then?
might not be effective till next. So if I was a betting man, I would say adopt this calendar, because chances are you won't get to change this one.
And we can have this discussion later. I just hate for the people out, the media, because of what we have done or haven't done, but created a limbo situation.
If they do allow us that local flexibility again, then we'll certainly discuss it at that time.
I think if I may, that would give time for people to adapt.
Was released in July, not this past year, but the year before. That's when it came out, was when they did their finance stuff in July, so it's just
That,
anybody's
at that
bet.
time, that wasn't an option, either. We just had to change in the middle of the spring.
But it was July, so we just don't know. How's that?
The superintendent's being very diplomatic. I would go ahead and say that the minority person holding all this stuff up for return is one individual, and there you go. It's kind of a sad state, but such is life. It's where law runs. So basically, the recommendation of our superintendent is to accept this
It is.
today with all our understanding is that if something else in May, if it did, we'll revisit, and I think that would be the appropriate time to change. So, any other discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion either for approval or continuance. What's the board's wishes?
We approve the calendar for
Have a motion to approve the calendar as presented. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a motion second. All in favor, say by saying aye. Any opposed? So moved. Thank you. And then the early college.
How many days shy were you of a weather waiver? Was it
One, I'm sorry.
Well,
and-
Don't ask me.
Go ahead.
We were one day, the way the law is written, school system that has missed 8 days, any 4 years out of the past 10 could be eligible.
And then they had a mistake.
They did.
But that 1 year, we don't know, we would have to look back and see, and I don't know whether any other 4 years.
It has to be,
within the
it has
past
to be
10
all
qualify.
schools in the district now too, so.
And we have.
We can go back and look at it.
We can look.
If we miss another day. But
Yeah,
it has to be all
I'm
four.
not arguing that point. I'm not arguing that. Yeah, sorry. I'm quiet.
If he's nice to do that.
I will let Todd talk about his calendar if there's issues. I just actually just put it together for him, so Todd, if you want to discuss it, now our next question.
Early colleges across the state are granted a calendar waiver by the General Assembly because they want early colleges to start on or before the community colleges that they partner with. So we're not under the same restrictions as to when we start and when we finish. We are under the same restrictions when it comes to 180 days or 1,025 contact hours. And we meet those, I think we actually have 181 days. 181 days. It just seemed to work out better that way. We start the 7th, which is a Thursday. I think it's the 7th. The Southwestern Community College seems like it starts on the 18th maybe. And we, since we start when we do, we can end before Christmas. And it seems like we end our school year right before the holiday at the end of May. Unless there's snow, and then we'll extend past that. teachers work the same amount of time.
Make motion to accept it as presented.
Second?
A motion is second, and a second to accept the early college calendar. Any other discussion? Not all in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed? So moved. No other discussion items at this time. Dr. Ball, on the curriculum.
That's it.
Buildings and grounds, Mountain View Intermediate School outdoor play area.